But right here, Victor Oladipo gives great insight to his injuries, and he gets really real on how bad the situation was and how it really changed him mentally. You guys check it out, and every once in a while, I'll check in.
It definitely the toughest thing I ever had to go through in my entire life, doing it twice. Doing it the first time was, I thought, the worst, and then it only got worse. So, you just imagine it's like, okay, so your whole life you wanted to be in the NBA. Your whole entire life, since you was 4 years old. You get to the league, you get there, and it's not as sweet as what you thought it would be in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? It was cool, it was fun, you were playing your sport, but maybe you thought about it and imagined it a little differently, but you're like, all right, cool, this is me, be patient, give it some time. Your third year in the league, you get traded without knowing, on a plane, get traded. Then the following year, you go to an organization that you thought was, they drafted you number 2, you thought they were invested in you. They trade you without telling you. You go to OKC, play 1 year, they trade you without telling you. Then you get to Indy, and it's like, okay, let me take this super seriously and really show everybody that they gotta really stop disrespecting me and just sending me off. So then I came back to Indy. Finally got to the position that I dreamed about my whole life, leading the team, being the guy, help us win, lead us, help us figure out how to win. Gone. So the first year is like, first injury, you're like, okay, all right, I'm gonna come back. You got the greatest mentality ever coming back. You waking up, it's hard to take your first step. It's hard to sit down and use the bathroom. But you like, it's a process.
They get into a car.
I'm telling you, it's hard to sit in a car for more than 30 minutes with your knee bent. That's why I don't like driving 30 minutes away. My knee is fine now, but like mentally, I don't want to drive that far. It's like a nuisance. Then after that, you fight back, and you're like, they're telling you like, it's going to take time. You're eventually going to get there. It's going to take time. It's going to take time. You're like, I've probably fought through some pain, and my pain tolerance is through the roof. I don't think there's anyone who can handle more pain than I can. I promise you. And you come back and you figure out a way to make it work. Not driving left as much, not stopping left as much. You know what I'm saying? You figure out ways to be effective. Then it happens again. So then you're at a point now. You're at a point now where you start growing up, even though you don't want to, or you're not even trying to. You're putting yourself in a position now where it's like, okay, somebody got to tell me something right, or I'm going to lose it. And I'm not even like that. That's not my personality. I'm not the person to not be able to control their emotions. I couldn't control them anymore. I got to the teetering point. I was low. Like I was in a really, really dark place. You understand? And it'll take you there when the whole entire time you're thinking it's you, but in reality, it's because you was dealt a bad hand. Again. So at this point, it's like, okay, nah. I have to change my whole outlook, my whole approach. Everything has to change. I can't be the innocent, nice. I can't be that guy anymore. That's you have to take full control of what you got going on. You understand what I'm saying? And it was a point where, I said this in an interview after the Atlanta game. I said, man, I was in a dark room. I was serious when I said that. I was not a joke. I was in a dark room by myself right before my birthday. I found out I had to do surgery again. Sitting my 29th birthday, sitting in a dark room, really, really asking myself, like, what is going to happen next? I was so low. I was content. I've saved enough money. I've gotten enough bread from this game and everything else outside the game. I could retire.
Ooh, that's tough. That's extremely tough. Keep in mind, he was entering, I would say, his prime NBA years, which is mid-20s, early 30s. I mean, at this point that he's talking about, he's only in his, I would say, 26, 27. years old. So he had so many more years left of his career. And those are his prime earning years also.
I could retire and go do something else. I'm talented enough to go make some money doing something else. I was that low. I'm like, okay, if it's that, bro, then you gotta. I was thinking about every angle. And I just broke down. Just broke down by myself. Wasn't no one in the room but me. And I remember because I was listening to Joe Osteen at the time. His choir was singing, his choir got me. Boom. I was just going down. I was in tears. I wasn't even gonna go there. I was crying by myself. I'm like, at that point, you know, you do that you let all that out. And it was like answer after answer after answer. Okay, all right, this is what I need to do. And it just started clicking for me.
That's a real tough, dark place to be in. And you can see it play out with the way Victor just made that post during the NBA Finals with the Pacers and Thunder. I was thinking, damn, this is what Victor is thinking about during these finals when Tyrese Halliburton got hurt and he sort of had a deja vu. So now we have a picture of where he was at mentally. We're going to hear Victor speak about the botched surgery from the Pacers. The NBA today is very different than how it used to be, with teams investing a lot of money into their medical staffs. I believe the Brooklyn Nets is really the first team to kind of increase the standards of that, especially when KD and Kyrie had arrived to their franchise, but it was really well known for that. But not every franchise was on the same tip. In my previous segments, I've touched base on how the Portland Trailblazers kind of messed up with Greg Oden as well as Brandon Roy. And this is where the politics of the league kind of get tricky, because do they want Victor Oladipo coming back in and just previously having him making it well known that the Pacers had messed up his surgery? With the way the media landscape is today due to technology, shit can get very, very tricky. And it's playing out no further than with some of the gambling scandals and the Steve Ballmer situation down in LA. But you guys check out what Victor had to say, and every once in a while, I'll check in.
So was it true you turned down the 113?
Nah, you know, everybody always asks that. That wasn't the real number at all.
Okay.
And to be honest with you, like, just like we sit here and say, right, like we talking about my story, and, you know, it's never really been a money thing for me. It's about legacy. So for me, I always considered myself as the guy who's stood at the All-Star. So at that moment, you know, I had just got off injury, not knowing that the doctor who did my injury did it wrong. So I'm just naturally going through life. And during that time, I'm like, okay, I got my first contract from my family. My family's already good.
Yep.
Like, this is about my legacy. Okay, I need to show them that I'm constantly improving. I'm getting better. I'm gonna get to that level that I once was at. And I believed that I could do that during that year. So they had came to me in the beginning of the year and they offered me like 3 years, something of a little bit under of what I was already making. So I was like, I mean, I could just play out the year and then, you know, I could just see if I could make more. And at that time I was making 84. So it was 80 on the 80er side of things, 80, under 80. So I was like, listen, if it was 113, you think I wouldn't even I wouldn't even thought twice.
He didn't have to think twice about that.
He
would have been smoking.
But at that time, it was like, I mean, now you sit here 80 million. Yeah, everybody gonna take 80 million. But it was just like, you know, I'm good. I'm not stressing. I want more. I want more for myself. I don't want to. And the thing too, when you're dealing with injury, right, and people don't understand, if you consciously you're at an imbalance once you become injured. Like neurologically, it's a neurological imbalance once you get hurt again. So then on top of that, if you're telling yourself that you're lesser than, then it is going to contribute to how you heal. But again, it's if I sign that and it's like, oh, you know, I'm signing this and, you know, I'm just going to be a, you know, role player the rest of my career and I can sign this and just make some money. But I've always wanted more for myself in this game. I consider myself of that regard. I don't consider myself of lesser than. And yeah, you know, unfortunately I got hurt after. It felt like my soul left my body when I first got hurt, if I'm being honest with you. It felt like that it was one of the saddest moments I've ever experienced as an individual. Because you see how it's like, it's almost like, you know, you get to the mountaintop, And instead of putting a flag there, you get crucified.
Damn.
That's what it felt like. It felt like you know what I'm saying? It felt like I died on that floor, honestly. If I'm being honest with you, that's exactly what it felt like. It felt like death. And as I fell, I remember there being a dent in my leg, and I remember I literally, as I fall, I look up, and I could see my mom. I couldn't see no one else in the arena.
Wow.
Like I could see my mom, I could see my mom's eyes, and I'm just like, nah. And then it's funny, she walks down. As soon as we make eye contact, she starts walking down. And then they put me on the stretcher. And then there's a video of me going off on the stretcher and my mom reaching for me and a lady pulling her hand back because they don't know it's my mom.
Yeah.
And it's just funny because I ain't start getting emotional until I'm in the back and I'm going back to get x-rays and I start breaking down and crying. And obviously it's just like, I was told that would never happen to me in the locker room. In that locker room before that happened, I was told by someone else that would, something like the odds of that happening to you are slim to none.
Now that's very interesting because once again, that tweet he made during the NBA Finals at Game 7 when Tyrese Halliburton tore his Achilles, I'm wondering if that brought a deja vu in his mind of his situation. Like, you never know, but very interesting to get that insight. Once again, with this media landscape and these guys able to get their voices out, the narrative can't really be controlled from the league overall as it used to be. And this is where the politics of just him, looking at the league right now from the outside in.
And then it actually happened. So add that to it happening.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, it was like, it was other things that led to it. It wasn't like it just miraculously happened.
Yeah.
When there are tendon and ligament issues, there are other signs and other issues prior to them tearing. So the Achilleses, the patellases, the quadses, the ligaments, those don't just happen.
Yeah.
There's something else going on prior to them tearing.
Oh, is he making reference to the Tyrese Halliburton situation? Once again, you see where all this is starting to tie in because the signs for Tyrese were there ever since Game 5. We've seen the difference of how he was moving from the first 4 games versus games 5, 6, and 7.
Correct.
So just letting everyone know that.
I'm like, dang.
Yeah, but my that's so crazy, but it's, it's wild. It's unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? Mine wasn't necessarily a situation where they were like, do something and I didn't do it and it happened. It was more so like, I'm listening to y'all and they're like, oh, no, God forbid. And then it's not going to happen. And then it do, So either way, though, it happens, right?
Yeah.
So once that moment happens, honestly, if I'm being real, when it first happened, I was not in a good place. No one would ever know it, though, because, I taught myself how to be me.
Yep.
I taught myself how to be me and be like this, hey, and deal with my shit on my own. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So,
fact.
it was tough though. And, I was looking for anything to fill that void. You go from everyone standing up, standing room onlys, to completely by yourself. Completely by yourself.
Was that a choice or did it just happen?
The choice is whether to continue or not. Like, I got a ton of talents. Like, I can, like you said, I can sing, I could talk, whatever the talent is, right? It's just like, you can do anything else. You don't have to do this. You don't have to keep doing this. Like, you signed a nice deal, you got bread now, you can go make bread doing something else.
Yeah.
But would that give me peace? Would that make me happy? Would that give me a sense of joy? And nah, probably not. And if I would have stopped before, I would have never accomplished anything. So for me, it was just like, I just got to keep going and see what happens next. And, I put my trust in people that I thought I could trust. And then unfortunately, I played the 2020, so I get hurt 2019. And then after that, COVID hits, right, in 2020. So I come back, I played 13 games after my first injury. And then COVID hits, and then I had to work out outside of my garage. I had no weights, I had nothing. I was just working out in my garage because I couldn't go nowhere. Yes. Yeah. So I was working outside from my garage for my rehab.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So then.
Damn, and that was a botched surgery too. That's crazy. No wonder this was kept under wraps.
And when I get back, I'm in the bubble. I could barely walk in the bubble.
Wow.
Like I remember playing them. I remember playing Dwight in 11. I could not walk in the bubble. Damn. I was still playing though. I couldn't walk though.
What?
No.
That's crazy.
Like I couldn't walk. It's because the narrative is that you could stop yourself too. Like you could be psyching yourself. Like fear is also in the midst of injury too. So they'll say that as well. Like it also says that you sleeping right, or there's certain things that you could be stopping yourself. Like that's a scientific proof too. Like that's all. We also have some data on that it might be for your brain stopping you. Now they're telling me that too. So now my body and my brain. And so now so I was like, all right, I need to but I can't. I don't have no time to disconnect because I'm still in the midst of a season. There's a narrative. It's just an understanding or a narrative that players want to get back as soon as possible. So the next year, I got to get back in 12 months.
And that's on Miami.
No, this is on Indy. This is after my first. This is my first year.
Now that narrative that he talked about, players trying to get back as soon as possible, that sounds very familiar to the narrative of players staying loyal to a city until LeBron James broke that narrative by going to South Beach. Very interesting.
I mean, my first year in Indy. Second year in Indy, and then I get hurt, and then COVID hit. Couldn't walk in the bubble. We lose 4-0 against Miami. Then I leave. Then that summer.
Go to Miami.
Yeah, no, I'm training. I start in Indy. Mind you, this whole time I don't know my shit is still messed up.
Yeah.
So I started in Indy. I was second leading scorer the first 7 games, and then they traded me. There's some deeper stories rooted, but I understand why they would trade me. Obviously, it's 1 year left on my deal, so they traded me to Houston. I played in Houston for 2 months. I don't know if you remember that, but there was John Wall, me, Christian Wood.
Damn, that's like almost a team of cast-offs. In a way, it's like, man, talk about a bunch of guys that was in NBA purgatory at that phase of their careers. But ironically, I'm wondering how his stint in Houston went, because his skill set at this very moment, being age 33, been out the league for 4 years, and having the correct surgery needed for him to get that burst back, he has a lot of the skill sets that they need ever since Fred VanVleet had went out.
I don't remember. That's crazy.
Yeah, I played in Houston for 2 months, yes. It's just we went on an 8-game losing streak, and then Christian Wood got hurt, respectfully disappeared, and then
he ended up on the Lakers out of there.
My bad. And then we just never won again.
So y'all didn't go to the playoffs and
then I got traded to Miami that same year.
Wow.
So twice in 1 year?
Yeah, twice in 1 year again. Well, I mean, I got traded twice in the year before that too, right before I got to Indy, and then I got traded twice in that year as well. And then I got to Miami. I played 5 games, and then on the best game that I was having there, I get a backdoor from Bam, and then I get a tweak in my leg, this knee, and I'm like, man, come on. Man.
Yeah.
I start jogging back. I'm seeing I can't put no pressure on it. I'm like, what the fuck? So then I go back, and then that's when the doctors told me, they said, I'm sorry no one told you this. I'm just going to have to tell you that, if you were to have continued this, you're probably going to tear your quad again, because the way the doctor did your surgery is probably better for a 90-year-old woman.
What?
Damn.
That's exactly what he told me, verbatim, a 90-year-old woman. So then I said, okay.
That's a weak guy,
so then at that point, you know what was crazy though, if I'm being honest with you? I was relieved.
Why is that though?
Because I knew it wasn't me.
Right. So now you can start with mind games.
You was trying to figure out.
I thought it was me. I thought there was something wrong with me.
Yeah.
I thought there was something wrong with me. But during that time, I was compensating. I was going, if you watch my film, from the time I got hurt to the time that I just got hurt in 2023, I only go right. I can't jump off my right leg. I only jumping off my left leg. Just watch all my film. Watch right-hand drives. I only could go right because I only could jump off my left leg. But I was still doing it, but I could only go that way. I couldn't do this. Mind you, the year before, I got a blue behind me. Leg. I couldn't do that.
So it's 2.
You went left on Bron.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't go left.
It's 2 injuries or 3?
It's 2, but I had a re-repair, so I got cut open 3 times.
Yeah.
So keep in mind, he got cut open 3 times, and as we could see from the preseason clips, man, them legs look fresh. I'm not gonna lie, but he has a lot of natural-born athleticism given from the man upstairs, and hopefully he gets an opportunity. The NBA Player Association, they might have to re-examine the vet minimums and kind of structure things in a way where they don't hit teams' cap as hard when they do get veterans, because the veterans are definitely needed in the league, especially today. But we'll see how it plays out. And Victor Oladipo, good luck to him, man. And he's definitely appreciated and brought a lot to the game, a lot of excitement down in Indy. And we'll see how it plays out. Until next time, you fellas stay safe. Peace.